be real quick too, but I'm just starting the broadcast. Yeah, I'm just starting the broadcast. This is for Tuesday, October 3rd, and we're doing a little buddy team session, and then we'll be jumping into the Sonic main session. And let me get the link real quick. This is for Tuesday, October 3rd. All right. And where's our notes? These are notes. Where are our notes? I hear about it. Okay. Albina. All right, cool. Recording. Okay, so we want to work on the budget. I'm going to go ahead and put that down here at the bottom. But really quickly, let's just cover your priorities just to get that finished. So this would be part of the buddy team schedule. And right now we'd be in Sunday through Wednesday, correct?
Yes.
So we go over to Sunday through Wednesday. I mean, as you can see here, you know, I don't have time always to put the importance and how high of a priority as well as the objective. I don't have a lot of time to do that. So it's not like, and obviously Steve's too busy for this, right? Of course, Abdul, you know, I don't know. He's basically was working on responsibly organizing, got sidetracked with the whole, you know, issue that came up. But anyways, so here's all of Lucy's stuff. Training and finances and taxes. So this would not be yellow. I don't know why it's yellow there. Let's make sure it's not yellow. All right, so responsibility organizing, high priority. This could be, you know, assigned for possibly even production hours if you did it really well. But primarily assigned hours, you know, maybe, I don't know if you're gonna be doing production. Finances and taxes, I mean, do you know how to do the finances and taxes? I mean, this is basically finance and taxes. This is a project, right? So yes. This would be just I mean, you basically regular hours. I mean, this would be more coordination training, right? Coordination training. Since I mean, finance and taxes is too big, right? FPN payroll and exit payroll. Again, this is a project. And it's not a responsibility, right? So again, this is regular hours. Exit taxes for VZ exit mesh. Again, this is you mean you don't know how to do that, so it's like regular hours. Exit board and executive support. We're doing that right now, although we only have 10 minutes. Exit house. Steve J and make the proposal and all that. I mean, you don't know anything about that, so that would be training. We create proposal. We create proposal. That's just leftovers, such as unorganized. I mean, I don't know what happened to all your priorities here, but
this is for last Sunday. You are on Sunday, not the Wednesday, Saturday.
It's Tuesday. Oh, you're on Wednesday. Okay, so you're switching already. Okay, all right. I see where you're at. All right, this is better. Okay, thank you. All right, so that was passed. So you're on Wednesday already because you guys are in the old world. All right. Yeah. Organizing new recruits and the offers recruitment budget. So this would be creating a budget. So this could be anywhere from assigned, production, and even initial output. So if you actually created a budget, that would be initial output. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're capable of getting towards initial output there. Calendar and scheduling verification spreadsheet would just be assigned hours. You might be able to do some production there, especially if you start, like the moon clock, if you start actually updating things, this could be assigned and even some production. Updating personnel work, tracking, and pay sheet, this would just be assigned hours. I mean, that's what you're already paid to do. Updating the payroll verification, so this can get towards assigned and production. If you completed it perfectly and completely, it would be initial output. Organizing the master video index spreadsheet. I mean, this is assigned, but it's you technically could have some production, but you guys are so bad at that it's so behind. I mean, but eventually if it got done, it would be output. And the focus on September for that. Verification of online personnel profiles. I mean, this would be assigned and it should be production and there should be some initial output here, but I don't know, man. It's like, you got to get it done. Updating the personnel rankings. Again, this would be assigned and production and would be initial output if you were capable of actually completing it, but nothing seems to be getting completed with that. 2 new rankings. Yeah, that's the 2 new rankings for that. Responsibility organizing is assigned work. That's not production, just as, I mean, it technically could be production if you did a really good job of it, but, you know, onboarding personnel support files. Intake forms. I mean, that's just assigned. You know, there could be some production, even output if you did a really good job of it, but updating the monthly FCON budgets and team budget. This would be obviously output. So this could be assigned, production, and initial output. If you actually created the budgets, that would be an output because you'd actually create something, right? Verification of each buddy team budget. Again, that's the same thing. Updating position spreadsheet. That's the same thing. Although, if you, I'm not expecting you to complete it, but if you could complete it, it would be output. So does that make sense in terms of like the type of work? Like your goal is always to get towards output and deliverables, but first you need to get through assigned and production. If you look at this compared to, you know, some of the other new recruits, it's all just like regular. Yeah, like if you look at Asif Razu, he only does regular stuff. He doesn't even do assigned work, right? And same with Aline. You know, so you got to so you're really good that, I mean, pretty much everything you have here is all assigned and possible production. That make sense?
Yes.
And if you want to rank it, I mean, I feel like you're perfectly capable of ranking on your own of what the priorities are, but that's the next thing, is that you would prioritize all of this and make sure that you know what your top priorities are.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also you need to do your HR ranking. The contribution rankings is another thing that needs to be updated. So that would be another thing right here. So this would be like medium priority is the contribution rankings, right? So that's part of, it's part of updating the personnel rankings would be the contribution rankings. So someone needs to get the contribution rankings updated, and then the election rankings we already know, and so those should all be updated, right? So that would be another responsibility, is updating the rankings on the buddy team priority schedule.
Thank you.
Cool. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to get anything done on the budget, which was my focus right now. So if you guys just came organized, we could have spent an hour working on the budget. But instead, you guys were a total mess and not organized, and we spent the whole time getting you guys organized. So that's okay, because it's more important to be organized than to just get the work done. Yeah.
Sorry for wasting all this time.
Well, no, but it's not wasting time. That's my point. It's more important to get organized and to know what you're doing for the whole week than to spend 20 minutes, get nothing done, and then have no idea what you're going to do tomorrow. Do you see what I'm saying? Like right now, you guys know what you're going to do for the entire week, if not next week and the week after, and you're actually organized, because that's going to help other people get organized. That's 10 times more important than just getting some work done for 20 minutes. Do you see the difference?
Yeah. Yes.
So instead of just getting work done for 20 minutes and the whole rest of the week being a complete disaster and getting nothing done, right? You guys are now organized and have the potential to actually get work done for weeks, right? That's so much more important than 20 minutes of doing a little work. Because a little work for 20 minutes is pointless compared to actually being organized and knowing what you're supposed to do for the whole week, if not potentially multiple weeks. And then eventually what we want to do is get you guys on priorities, right? Get you guys updated on the finances and taxes, make sure you guys know what you're doing. And then we can assign you to be focusing on those priorities, and then we'd want to make them yellow on here, right?
Okay.
Yes, and those would be the ones that you guys can do anytime. Coolio. And then you also want to remind everybody to be updating their priorities for the week. I mean, for the half week. So twice a week, Wednesdays and Sundays, you guys would be updating this so that everybody knows what their priorities are. And it's continuously changing. That's why we force people to redo it twice a week, is because it's your priorities should constantly be changing. That make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and just let's see, organizing new recruits and offers. This is high priority. Calendar and scheduling, low priority, low priority. Updating personnel, work, tracking, pay sheet. This is medium priority, that's correct. Updating the payroll payments, medium priority. Medium high, yeah, I like it. High/medium. Organize the massive video training index, medium. Verification of online personnel profiles, medium. Updating the personnel rankings, high. Process for all responsibilities, this is very high. Onboarding personnel like as needed, right? Depends if we have someone who needs onboarding. This is high. Verification, this is high priority. Updating positions of spreadsheet, this is medium high. But does that help? Understanding like the importance? But again, the importance of how important something is always changing based on the day, you know? Everything's always changing in terms of how important it is. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go to the main hangout and join the whole group.
Okay, cool. Is there anything that assigned for me I can do at my own time or guys? Yeah, if we can get something you can do.
Yeah, I mean, that should always be your goal, right? If you guys were organized, instead of just focusing on getting you guys, you know, generally organized, we could have focused on actually, you know, seeing what you can actually do on your own time. The fact that you have some high priority, like you got this one, updating personnel rankings, that's pretty high. You know, responsibilities above, responsibility organizing process. Updating the team budget is getting the closest. So if you guys can show me that you can actually work on the budgets, that would be really close to getting you know, getting approval to do that at any time you want to, because that would be essential. We need all the budgets. And then also this updating the position spreadsheet is a subset of your position, which is your tactical ops management positions, right? So if you can get clarity on your tactical ops management position, you know, that's a ton of work, right? But you need to be organized on that, right? And this is regular right now because you don't know how to do it. So if you guys can show me that you guys know how to do this stuff, then you can do that whenever you want to, but you just need to actually, you know, do it and show us that you know how to do it. All right, let's go join for the main session.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. I think we made a lot of progress, and trust me, it's really good to get you guys organized because you guys can help everyone else get organized. Plus, you guys are running all the sessions for the your Africa sessions, so it's really important that you guys are some of the most organized people in the team. You know. All right, yeah. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm gonna jump over.
Just continue until people come to the main hangout.
Huh?
Okay. Jay is already here.
Hello.
Oh, they're here? Okay, let's.
Hi, Jess.
Hello, how's it going?
Hello.
Mm-hmm. So is someone working on a doc at all, or?
Okay, I will.
So, Jess, should I ask people to join here?
Yeah, definitely. You can put like on the Skype. You can just remind everyone we're starting the main weekly Sonic session.
Okay. Thank you.
So any luck with that doc?
Yeah, I'm working on the doc, Jay.
Cool.
Jason is working on the doc.
Wait. See.
What? I couldn't hear you.
The doc there, Jay.
Oh, great. Okay. So let's see here. What happened to Albina? Where is Al? Can you check on Albina and Lucy? Wait. This isn't a main weekly session template. So you need to copy and paste the main weekly session template so that we. Oh wait, did someone just get here?
Can someone send a doc?
Hi, Lucy. Yeah, we can send a doc. Joyce just made a doc, but she made it like a buddy team format, so we need to copy and paste the template into it so that we have our main session template.
Can I help, or you already copied and put that?
Yeah, we need someone to do it as quickly as possible.
Okay, let me. You can send it to
while you're doing that,
it is on Hangout.
yeah. While you guys do that, Joyce, I have a couple questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen? Here, hold on a sec. This sounds really bad. Can you guys hear Joyce?
No, my voice is breaking.
Okay, cool. So it's Joyce and not me. All right, Joyce, we can't really hear you very well. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Hi.
All right, that's a little better. Can you guys see? Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen, Joyce?
Yes.
Yeah. So with your responsibilities here, can you see Razu's priorities?
Which one?
Right here, Razu's priorities.
Yes, Jay.
So Razu's priorities are really clear. You can clearly see all of Razu's priorities, and it's like simple. Abdul's priorities are obviously a little more complicated than Razu's, but they're all in one place, and it's all very clear. These are Abdul's priorities, and it's clear, right? Another example would be, you know, up here we have Lucy's priorities. So here are Lucy's priorities for the week. Pretty clear. For you, it's just not clear. So under Joyce's priorities, you have these really big headings, and so it breaks up, and it's not really clear what the priorities are, and they're like it would be a little simpler if it was just like all one thing. Like maybe if you you know, did it more like this, you know, like kind of like that. Maybe it would help, you know, because then it would all be one set of priorities. Does that make sense?
Okay, Jay, I will change my main doc.
Yeah, just to well, on your main doc it doesn't matter. I'm talking about for your buddy team, right? So we just want to make it sure it's clear for the buddy team Joyce's priorities, right? And so that it should all be one set of priorities.
Okay, Jay.
And really even like breaking it up by client priorities, overall priorities, team responsibilities, like the question really is, you know, what is the top priorities, right? So regardless of whether they're client responsibilities, overall responsibilities, or team responsibilities, what are your top priorities? Like that's really the main question. Oh yeah, and then you also have other down here. Yeah, so because it keeps going, it's like I don't even know when it ends. So I'm not clear on where yours starts and Razu stops because it's just there's so much, right? It's too much information. So it's a little overwhelming. Okay.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like
thank you.
The client responsibilities is a bigger heading than Joyce priorities, right? Joyce priorities should be the biggest heading, and then everything comes under that, and you know, I can't even tell these are your priorities because it's not even under you priorities. It's like client responsibilities is more important than you. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, Jay.
So it's very hard to tell where your priorities start and where they end. And also, you guys had no group priorities, so you know you guys should have get organized. And there's also a template for this. I don't know if you guys did individual work, but you know it should be clear what you guys are working on. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we have our template. Okay, good. We have our template. Excellent. And then we have a recording. Let me get this all set up.
It's okay now, I think. It's okay.
Yeah, let me just grab the recording here. It is recording. Boom. All right. So I can help out with the facilitation. Does anyone want to help out with facilitation?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm fine.
No. Lucy, did you say you want to help out with facilitation?
Yes.
Note taking?
Albina.
Albina, timekeeping?
Joyce.
Joyce?
Eileen.
Can I put my phone type?
Eileen?
Yes.
Video indexing? Indexer? Abdul?
Yes. Okay, Abdul. Okay.
Task responsibility master?
Also.
Abdul? Okay. All right, so let's jump into check-ins. Lucy, do you want to take us through check-ins?
Yeah. Okay, we can begin checking in, guys. The first, Razu, can you check in, please?
Sure. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Yes. Today I'm feeling well. I have done work first in the morning. I'm at 6.5.
That's good. Can you show?
Good night. It is now October the. It's October the 3rd at 10:14 p.m. and Jamaica.
Okay.
And
Well, how do you
Can
feel
say?
today?
Can I? I'm a C.
Which number are you in?
Did you say a 6?
Oh, thank you.
Can I share that document
Abdul?
with me, please?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send you. Abdul,
Yes.
can you check in, please?
Yeah, I'm pretty good today. My head also. I need to focus lesson tasks. That's why I'm fixed.
Okay, thank you, Abdul.
You can listen. Thank you.
Joyce,
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's a nice morning and glad to be able to attend today. Thank you. I'm 6.5.
good, thank you. Alan, will you check in, please?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Today is 11:17 in the morning, Philippine time, and I'm good today, feeling better compared to yesterday, and I'm at 6.
Okay, thank you. Albina?
Hi guys, I'm also fine today. Also feel organized after just taking us through the responsibility and how we're supposed to organize ourselves. I feel so good. I'm at 7.5.
Oh, thank you, Jake. Will you check in, please?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm really like have an unbelievable amount of work to do tonight to get the budgets ready for our client, and so I'm definitely focused on that. I think overall I'm feeling okay. I'm probably like a 6.
Okay, thank you. I'm very good there. At least I get very much organized with my work. That's the best thing I can say. I'm at 7. So now, yeah, I think we are not done with our. We can go to our desired outcome
Great.
for today. What are our desired outcome?
So for me, the desired outcome that I have is really you know, understanding the priorities that are above doing the client exa budget work and prep for the executive team tomorrow. So that's really work for me. And so this basically includes like you know, there's a policy, understanding the policy on, you know, breakout groups during sessions and things like that.
Any other desired outcome, Abdul? Or you are still on this?
Yes, I think we can do separate every group or every person task and responsibility. We can just discuss this on in here. We just assign everyone task and responsibility, and also split that every group task, and when they work on this task, then at least they completed on our, they just submit at least they are right or not. So I think we can just discuss about this process because that will be very fine. So we can just discuss responsibilities and goal. We completed well.
Completing what's up?
At discussing on responsibilities and how to complete, I think, if I'm not wrong.
How to complete our goal? We can just complete. We can discuss it.
Is that correct, Abdul? Completing or discussing about how to complete our responsibilities?
Discussing, yeah, I think discussing.
Discussing how to complete. Okay, thank you.
Is that correct, Abdul? We couldn't hear you very well.
Yeah, it's
I think what I can add on that, Abdul, I think we can make people understand a bit by the end of this session. At least people will know exactly what should do about the getting much organized in a responsibility organizing. I think that's where we get most of the problems, because we are not more. If we are not organized, if we don't know how to organize our responsibilities, then it's still a problem. Cannot
Yeah. I can agree with you, Lucy, on that, because if you are not organized, actually we waste a lot of time getting everything in order. So we need to organize ourselves, put our responsibilities, and work on the top responsibility.
Okay, thank you. And any other desired outcome?
I want to add another one. We can discuss. Yesterday we had our last next 3 month priority and goal. So we need to assign task, this task, we need to do fast. I guess we need to do fast month, according to our dinner session.
I did not get you clear, Albina. I think
Abdul, you're not clear.
Yesterday, in dinner session, we listed our goal responsibility for the next 4 months.
okay.
And we need to clear here last month which goal and responsibility we need to focus. That will be fine.
Oh, focusing. Okay, you focusing on next month priorities that people assigned yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the easier way to say that is just focusing on the priorities from the Venus session.
Okay, fine.
Any other desired outcome? We can go with our priority topics. Also, sometimes whatever it is on desired outcome, most of them are our priority topics.
How about the quintant budget? I think the quintant budget. Before you discussed, with Jay, that it will be deadline is October 5 or 10.
Any other desired outcome? For me, I don't know about the budget, quintant budget. As maybe we'll see.
Yeah, because
Any other desired outcome? No, or any other priority topics? We are now we are on topics. Okay. I think there is no other topics people want to focus on.
Jay's not here.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I think we are good to go. Okay, because I think no one, the people they don't have any other topics that we can discuss on.
Jay, wait, Lucy. No, I just want to say that there is a deadline for the quintant budget. We said the last time, October 5 or October 10.
I don't know. Maybe they know that.
I think we should go through it. I think we should go through the team budget process. Can you guys not mess up with that?
Maybe
It's in the right place so that it's organized. I don't know what you guys are doing.
I need to be organized. Yes, like that.
I'm not sure what you guys are doing here. So basically what I have here is that we have the topics that are more important than the EXA budget and executive preparation, right? So the EXA budget and executive preparations due by 12 noon America's time. So I have less than 12 hours, so it's extremely important. So the for sure things that need to get done, I think as a group, is one, understanding the policy of doing work during group sessions, and then checking in on the section schedule, because it's really important we have our schedule organized. And then possibly borderline, we could do some of these other things, but really, I just need to get to work on the exit budget and executive preparation as soon as possible, because it needs to get done. And we're behind schedule on that. So other borderline possible things we could think about is, I could do more training. I've done training on this before, on the executive preparation training, because that goes pretty quickly. It's pretty easy to do. There's also the budget training. Unfortunately, the budget training takes a really long time. I don't know if we have time to go through the entire EXA budget, but I could do a basic, maybe I could do a 15-minute quick version or something like that. I don't know, but we'll have to think about that. And then there's a couple things on the website issues that could get addressed, website issues plan, and then the team budget process. So these things are kind of borderline. These things are all less important than the exit budget and exit prep. So this is without Jay. So you guys can continue without me, but I need to go work on the budget for exit. So does that make sense? And then I have responsibility organizing, buddy team setup, and organizing individual priorities. That would be helpful for people to understand.
Yes, those are good.
And then there's more on the budget, team budgets, quintant budgets, core team budgets. There's a whole bunch of things here for the budgets that need to get done that you guys could work on as well. And then there's Venus session priorities, or Venus session, goals and priorities. And then of course we have our master topic list with endless other topics.
Okay. Is there anyone disagree with these topics? Are we okay with this?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So we should move on. The first topic that we have, more important than we have, I think, policy on breakout work during the group session. We have 2 minutes there, timekeeper. If you're a timekeeper, kindly remind us every minute. 1 minute,
Yes.
2 minutes. Yeah.
Cool.
Can
Can I
you
ask
okay?
you one question?
Yeah, you can. Okay, let's move on to on breaking out during the group sessions.
Cool. So the policy is that, you know, anytime you have like a buddy team session, or you have a life support or FQN session, or you have a main session, or even like a planetary session, or a moon session, right? All these sessions are to be like everybody who's working, everyone who is working attends the session. Does that make sense? There's some background noise here. Does this make sense so far? How the policy works?
Yes.
Yes.
So everyone attends the session, but the people who attend the session, the people who attend the session can vote to by majority, right? By majority to basically cancel the session and do buddy team work instead, right? With a buddy team session, this would look like doing a buddy team session. You could do an individual session on the side, but needs to be approved. Needs to be approved by the group. So in this case, the proposal would be to allow Jay to work Jay and or other buddy team and or other individuals who want to work on the EXA budget and executive preparation. So I'm basically proposing that the EXA budget and executive preparation is more important than the weekly main session of the Sonic team. So are there any objections to that?
No.
No.
Okay, so I think we're done then. So this is agreement. So basically we're gonna go through as few things as we can, and then I'm gonna break out and focus on the budget. Is anyone interested in working with me on the budget?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Albina.
Anyone else?
Joyce?
I'm interested in Jay.
Joyce?
Kanisha. Okay, cool. So Kanisha definitely is has a lot of skills with budgets. Joyce, do you do budgets?
Yes.
You've done budgets before as well?
Not yet.
No. And Albina and Lucy know a little bit. So I mean, I would say Kanisha and either Lucy or Albina. We'll figure it out when we get there. Cool. All right. So let's go into the next topic. Okay. All ready? Any questions about the policy? And this is what's called a standing rules. This is part of our standing rules. Any other questions about this, the proposal or the budget? All right, let's move on.
Yeah, I just a question.
Yeah.
Indexing. So just go to video. Today's doc.
What's your question?
I just can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Like this is our main section, but this is the link in your doc. That means master training video link docs. I think we need to link into the spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, I don't know why people don't use the template, right? So we have a template, right? This is the template voice session meeting notes, and then some people just aren't using the template and using other things, but in the template, it has the session training video index spreadsheet. So somebody's using documents that aren't the template. So when we update the template, it's got the correct information, but you people are using things that aren't in the template, and so it's incorrect. Okay?
And at the same time, when I go to the spreadsheet, I have not updated the last demonstration training videos in this spreadsheet. So,
what Abdul? I don't understand. What?
One hour of master training video indexing spreadsheet. But after our yesterday demonstration, there are the training and also the video, but the video indexing not updated to
No, it is not updated because we usually verify it first from master doc spreadsheet. After verification,
we're
that's
not,
why we put that.
We're not using the doc anymore. The doc is irrelevant. So it all needs to go directly into the spreadsheet immediately, right away, because the doc is a mess and it doesn't help us at all. The doc is pointless.
We just only use the spreadsheet, right?
Yeah, it just should all go into the spreadsheet. Like we don't even need to use the doc anymore. The doc is irrelevant.
Okay.
So just I just okay. All members are there and everyone can know this one. After today, every person use this spreadsheet instead of that. That will be fine. And we need to update this every 10 videos according to our page. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
Abdul, I think we have people like you, me, Albina, who knows that. We can just continue with this session because other people, unless we train them.
Just continue with it.
1 minute, 1 second. Abdul, when you are doing video index, you have to put the time it take. I tried to do that yesterday. I think everyone who is going to do video indexing, you have to estimate the time that it will take. After that finishing, you have to put the minute that video is going to take. Okay, you can continue, Jay.
Yeah, so basically you want to update the video indexing spreadsheet instead of the doc immediately after sessions. Also, someone needs to go through and update September, right? So September, the entire month of September is missing. The entire month of September is missing from the video indexing training video indexing spreadsheet. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
So I don't understand why the entire month of September is missing, but it's insane. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not acceptable. So that needs to be fixed.
5 minutes left for sextant schedule.
We're not doing the sextant schedule right now. Right now we're in the updating training video index spreadsheet. It's a separate topic that Abdul just added in there. So Abdul, you should have made this a topic instead of just randomly bringing it up. Does that make sense?
Yes, already indexing this one.
Yeah, but thank you for bringing it up. But it is important to make it a topic so that everyone knows what we're talking about and it's organized. So any other questions on updating the training video index spreadsheet before we move on?
No question from my side.
Cool. And this would be part of documentation. This is part of session support. And whoever is doing timekeeping and video indexing, you would put the amount of time that we spent on the session so that they can update that with the spreadsheet. All right, sextant schedule. Are you guys ready for the sextant schedule?
Yes.
Okay. So basically there is options poll. Basically option 1, continue with the quintent schedule and model. Option 2, switch to the sextant schedule, structure, schedule, and model. So that's basically the proposal. Obviously, the difference is that this has 5 global areas, and this one will have, this has 6 global areas. Does that make sense? So the most important thing to understand about the quintent structure is that it was a little confusing, right? So my understanding is that the quintents were like, you know, a little confusing. Everything started on the 12, right? It was like 12-minute start times. And it was very detailed schedule and structure. It was kind of a lot. And I actually like the quintent structure, but we weren't able, and like we're not able to successfully implement it quickly like we wanted to, right? So the sextant model is, I think, is actually simpler, a little simpler. It's break out into 6 equal parts of 4 hours each, right? That's equals 24 hours. Whereas this one was 4.8 hours for each, right? Cool.
It's time to stretch out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we forgot to do that. Yeah, so everyone's supposed to stand up every half hour. It's one of our new policies from the Venus section. So it's just like, you know, a 10-second break standing up. And then at the top of the hour, every hour, we're supposed to make sure everyone gets a chance to do a bathroom break or get water or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joyce. That was great. All right, so here is, where are we? That's his template, meeting notes. All right, so here's the sextant organizing doc. Cool. So these are the actual sextants. So there's going to be three schedules. One is the sextant schedule. There's the duodecant schedule, which I'll go through in a bit, and then there's the senior manager shifts schedule, right? So the sextant organizing schedule is as such. And I'm actually going to change this. Like, I think it makes more sense to go from 1 p.m. to 5, 5 to 9, 9 to 1 a.m. and 1 a.m. to 5, 5 to 9, and 9 to 1. So that this would be the 6. Remember, there's 6 sextants instead of quintants. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then these would be the UTC 0, 60 degrees would line up with UTCs +4, and then we just need to finish doing the rest of them. But each one would have a specific time and a specific aligned degree of the meridians, so that can be filled in. Just so you know, the times themselves are based on a very specific vote, which I think is important to bring up. Let's see, vote on, let me see if I have it here in the sextant organizing. No. So let me just quickly bring up the quintet. A specific quintet doc. Jeez. Quintet organizing doc. So here you can see with the quintet organizing doc, the times for quintet organizing were really odd, right? So if you look at the quintet organizing, it was like, you know, all the start times started at, you know, 12 minutes, and it was just all very, you know, odd. Whereas this one, it'll be at the top of the hours, and it'll be really clean and clear, and it organizes with our existing schedule, as opposed to this being just different. So it's a little, I think it's a little simpler to implement, and maybe that will help us be able to do it faster, is the thought process on it. But let me see if I can find the, this is the daily focus voting form. So this particular voting form right here is what determines the schedule of the quintet, okay? And I'll just show you really quick. Basically, what you're voting on is what is the best local times for the most people to be awake and focused and active. This isn't you personally. Some people are day people, some people are morning people, some people are night people. So you want to think about your culture and the people in your city and town, in your country, and where you are in the world. And you want to think about when the most number of people are active, awake, and focused. It has nothing to do about your jobs. If no one had any jobs, what would be the best time of day to get the most amount of work done? So this would be the time of day when you get the most amount of work done. And so you would click, for example, you know, the hours you think are the best times of the day to get the most amount of work done based on people being active, alert, and focused. Does that make sense? And so this vote right here, this vote right here determines this schedule. Okay. So that's how we get the actual global schedule, is based on that. So then the next thing is the duodecad organizing. So every so let me make sure I get the top part. Duodecad organizing. So every session, so every sextant, in between every sextant is a duodecad. So just like with the quintets, there's 10, and with the octants we have 8, right? Or not, yeah, the octants are 8 with the quadrants. So currently we have a quadrant schedule where we have the 8 octant sessions, because there's an octant session in between every quadrant. And so with the sextant organizing schedule, we would have duodecans, so there'd be 12 sessions. So we just need to quickly update these to be 1 hour different, because we switched it to be 1 hour off to match with the new approved thing. But this could change based on people voting. So does everyone understand this so far? Are there any questions?
No question.
Okay, so let's go over a few responsibilities here. So one responsibility is to update and create a new buddy team schedule with the new duodecans. So this is
2 minutes on that topic.
What?
2 minutes left on that topic, Jay.
Okay, well, there was supposed to be 10 to 15 minutes, and so I never got a 5-minute warning or a 10-minute warning. So you guys got to get better on the timekeeping, because we're definitely, it's not clear. You know, like you need to do 5-minute warnings, 10-minute warnings, right? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Cool. So we need at least 5 more minutes on this. So this is one thing that's going to happen. And then obviously the actual schedule for the sextant senior management positions. So the senior manager schedule, shift schedule, will be 1/2 an hour before. So so this would be 12:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. And this would be 4:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. This one would be 8:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. So does that make sense in terms of the, like, it overlaps for an hour between each quintet? So the senior manager shift of each, or these isn't a quintet, it's a sextant, would overlap by an hour, and instead of being 6 hours, it would only be 5 hours. So this would be 5 hours a day. Okay. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the next thing is that the West Africa would be a main. This would be a main one. This would be secondary. Middle East would be main. Central Asia, man, Central Asia should really be a main session. So the only thing we need to figure out here is, okay, so let's say, so there's obviously 2 options for the duodecant schedule. One option is like this, and the other option is like this. So we need to decide, so this would be option 1, and this would be option 2. So these would be the actual sextants: Central Pacific, West Australia, West Polynesia, East Central Asia, East Africa. So I mean, I personally think these make option 1 makes a little more sense. So it would be West Africa, Middle East, East Asia, and West Australia, New Zealand and East Polynesia, West Australia, East Pacific, and then West Atlantic. So this would slightly change the model of, like, so right now we talk about your Africa and your Australia. We talk about Australia. So Australia would kind of be the equivalent to this: West Australia and West Polynesia. So this kind of would be equivalent to Australasia, right? So sonic session, if you think about it, so right now we have East Pacific, and then sonic session comes between that. So this would all kind of be between the sonic session and Australasia. So basically there would be 3 sessions in between Australasia and East Pacific instead of just 1. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So after East Pacific would come Central Pacific, Hawaii, Alaska. After Central Pacific would come New Zealand and East Polynesia. After New Zealand, East Polynesia would be West Australia and West Polynesia. And then you would have East Asia and Western Australia, which would be more of like the beginning of Australasia, right? But really, we're kind of, the idea is that this might actually get rid of the concept of Australasia, because Australasia would be a little bit smaller than that. So anyways, this is the option 1. Option 2 would be Central Pacific, West Australia, West Polynesia, Central Asia, and East Africa. Central Atlantic, Central Americas.
2 minutes, Jay,
Yeah.
left.
So let's just go back to the decision making here. Here's the poll. So our options are either to continue with the quintet structure that we've been discussing, that's going to evolve, or we would switch to the sextant structure. So let's go through. I obviously vote for the sextant structure. I think it'll be simpler because I think we're having problems. Do other people want to vote? Joyce, Albina, Lucy, Kanisha, Abdul.
Yes. For my
Yes.
Let's just do. Let's start with Abdul. Abdul, what do you vote for? Option 1 or option 2? The quintet or sextant structure?
Option 2.
All right, so Abdul is going to vote for sextant. Lucy?
I'm going for option 2.
All right, Lucy. Kanisha?
Option 1.
Option 1. Kanisha. And then
Albina 2.
Albina.
Option 2.
Albina. Joyce?
Joyce, option 2.
Okay, Joyce. And anyone else?
Eileen.
Eileen? Eileen, which one about you?
Option 2.
Option 2, okay. Eileen. All right, cool. All right, so this is good. So now the proposal would be to switch to the sextant structure. Switch to sextant structure for our global organizing. So this is a pretty substantial proposal. It really does change like how things are going to evolve, but I think it's going to be better and easier. So is there any objections to this proposal? Okay, no objections. So we have agreement by consensus.
Yeah.
All right, so that's exciting. So then the next proposal would be on this. So here's our schedule here, and then I mean this could technically change a little bit, but overall I think these would be our I mean these are the 6 sextants right here. Right, that's like automatic.
The time is up, Jay.
Okay, well anyways, I'm gonna look at this a little bit more as far as like how we break it down. But the most important thing to understand is that the sonic team will continue, but instead of being within the Oceania session, we're changing the session to basically it'll be either the New Zealand and East Polynesia session, or it would be the West Australia or the Central Pacific session. So we're going to see how it all breaks down. And over the next couple weeks and months, we will be evolving the schedule. And so we need someone to step up and help update and create the buddy team schedule with the new duodecans. Does anyone want to do that? Help with that?
Yes.
Abdul and who else?
Albina.
Albina. Okay, great.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm very good and I'm on 6 today. Thank you.
Awesome. How's it going, Asif? Thanks for checking in. So
And
just
time to stretch out again, please.
3 more. I think we have 3 more minutes, right? I guess it's a good time to stretch up. But let me just finish up with this, and then we'll do our stretch.
Okay.
So, all right. So I'm gonna put. So this was Albina and Abdul. And if someone can add Asif and make sure it's clear that Asif was when Asif got here. And I think everything is good for this. So yeah, thank you guys for helping get our schedule. So things are going to change in the schedule quite significantly. And I think this will be a lot easier to implement because all the times will be at the top of the hour and will be more clear. Whereas with the quintets, it was just really not clear and difficult to switch. All right, so let's go to so the next topic.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're gonna stretch. We're stretching. Yeah. And if anyone needs to go to a bathroom break real quick or get some water or something. It's also good to bounce. We'll talk more about bouncing in the future, but bouncing is good.
Yes.
The blood flowing a little bit. All right. So I need to get working on the exit budget and the executive team preparation. Do we want to quickly do a little training on that, or should I just break out into the buddy team now, or what do you guys want to do?
Can you train us all together?
Well, a little bit. I mean, the executive prep training we've already done before, right? So
yeah, that's one we have done before.
Yeah, so this would be the second time doing it, which is perfectly fine. But eventually the goal is so that other people can help do it. So that should go pretty quick. Obviously, the exit budget training is a lot more significant, but I'm happy to do it if people want to do a little bit. I could get started with it quickly with everybody, and they could watch me and I could talk through it. So what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to do a little training on the exec and budget training, or do you guys want to just have me go and do the work on my own with whoever the buddy team?
Yes, training on exec budget.
So do a little training with everybody for a little while?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to focus on the budget training first, or do you want me to do the executive prep training real quick?
First, the budget training, you can focus.
Start with the budget training?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do the budget training here. Okay. So, this is a pretty complicated budget process that we're going through. I already created a budget, but they didn't like it, and there's all these complications to the budget. So we actually need to create 4 budgets, but we're going to start with the first one. Okay. So we're creating a budget. Well, let me write this out. Okay. Here's how it works. Okay. So the first step 1 was to create a budget with major cuts as much as $60K per month cut out of the budget, okay? And this is done. You guys follow me? Step 2, and I just want to make sure, I want to preface that this is a one-time budget change, right? So every month the budget changes differently, right? So what I'm teaching you guys right now is generally how to approach budget changes, right? So the details aren't as important as just understanding the general process of how budget changes work. Does that make sense? Because next month the actual changes that'll be changed will be different changes, but the process will be very similar, okay? So this particular time, what we need to do is that we created a budget with major cuts done. So now what we want to do is we're going to create a budget without the cuts. Okay? So that's the next step, is to create a budget without all the cuts. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And primarily, this is just formatting, because we already have the budget. So I'm going to pull up the budget, and this is the old budget right here. Is the August through September budget. And here's the budget right here. So the first step here is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. So I'm going to make a copy. And then this new budget I'm going to call This is the updated budget for the exit economic budget, and this is September. It's actually going to be October through December. Okay. And it's going to be a 3-month budget. And I'm going to share it. Share the link. Cool. So then we come over here. And this is a great budget without cuts. And go ahead and link that here. All right. So basically, the main things we want to do is we want to add in December. So I'm just changing the formatting, adding in December, hiding the columns we don't need. So we have September, October, November, December. Right? For fundraising, again, it's the same thing. We want to add in December, and we want to get rid of the other ones. So this would be hiding of the other columns. Totals, we don't really need that either. We can hide that. And then we don't need August, right? So we can actually hide August as well. Contractor expenses. Again, we want to add December. So we're going to go ahead and add in December. Again, our budgets are not nearly as confusing as this. Our budgets are a lot simpler, but now we have September, October, November. September is green because it was approved. Okay, so this is the approved budget. And October, November, December have not been approved. We're going to be approving October tomorrow. Okay, and then we have the operating expenses. So we have August, September. So September was approved, so that should be green. And then a couple things need to be shifted over here like that and this one. And then August would be, we would just make August go away. And then we want to add December. So are you guys getting the, sort of seeing what I'm doing here a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not exactly the funnest work in the world, but this is what we want. This is the past budget for the last month. And then this is the proposed October, November, and December budgets, right? So a couple things, maybe we need to add in the rest of the months. This is going to shift over as well. This is going to be green. So there's little changes here and there. This also shifts over, and that is good. Cool. And then all of this needs to be continued into the next months, right? So same with this. Oops.
5 minutes spent on that topic, Jay.
How much do we have left?
10.
Okay, cool. Perfect. That's what I want to hear.
And
great.
Need for 2 minutes. Need for stretch out again, please.
Why would we stretch out again? We stretch out at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour, and it's not either of those.
How many times should we stretch out?
We stretch out at the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour.
Okay.
Every half an hour, okay?
Every half an hour.
Okay, so this, I think is 1,500. Cool, and just so you guys know, and this is 500, yeah, this is correct. And just so you guys know, this is, it's a lot of background noise going on. This is us, right? So FQN Unity, right? This is our budget right here. Okay. Yeah, does that make sense? This is where we get paid.
So for Jay.
Yeah.
For October, November, and December, you're expecting the same. You're expecting the expenses to remain the same, or would they go up by a percentage?
Well, that's what's the thing here is that we already created a budget with major cuts where we cut as much as $60,000 from the budget, and we finished that one. It's done. And so this new budget, we're keeping everything the same. So here we're going to keep everything the same. Okay.
Okay.
And really, one of the things that we're considering in this budget is that we're considering both the idea of a 2-month budget as well as a 3-month budget. Okay? That makes sense?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So this budget is pretty much, updated, right? So we have the dates correct. We have what's been approved before. It has all the information more or less correct, although this does need to be expanded out. So this would go here, this would go here, and we would delete that. So that would change a little bit. Cool. And the summary, yeah, this looks good. So it's not perfect, but it's good enough. There is some issues here with the totals. So that's the next step here to do, and this gets a little complicated. So let's see if we can kind of put some sub steps here. So sub steps for creating a new budget. So basically copy from old budget, update the days, not the days, the months, and fix the formatting. And then we're going to go ahead and add in the accounting. Okay. Can someone explain to me accounting? And I don't mean just general accounting, I mean how we define it. So we have our vocabulary, accounting, finance, and budgeting. What's the difference between accounting, finances, and budgeting?
Accounting is the present.
Mm-hmm. And finances and budgeting?
Accounting is the present.
Yes, that's correct. And what about finances and budgeting?
Finances is the past.
Uh-huh.
Budget is the future.
Is the future, exactly. Right? So in order to plan our budgeting for the future, we need to know how much money we have in the present. Because if we don't know how much money we have in the present, it's very difficult to be able to budget. So then the next step is the accounting, and we want to know how much money we have total, which would be this particular right here. The beginning cash balance at the end of September is the important number. So we're going to go ahead and focus on this number and make sure it adds up to the correct amount. Okay, does everyone understand?
Yes.
Okay, so let's add this to the set. So add in the accounting. How much money do we have now? All right, so I'll show you guys how to do that. So the next step here would be going to the EXA doc. And in this case, I want to get to the accounting project, but it's not linked here, so we're gonna have to pull that up.
5 minutes left for the topic.
Okay, we might go a little over, but I think this is helpful. You guys getting a lot out of this? Okay, so here's the EXA accounting doc. So I'll go ahead and add that in here since it's not in there. Okay, so, and then I'll just pop that into our notes. So here's the EXA accounting doc. I come into the EXA accounting doc. I'm gonna go to the current Econaut Partnership cash accounts. So this is the money that's in the bank. The last time this was updated was 9/25. That's pretty recent. There are some questions about some of these other accounts, but I don't have access to them, so there's not much I can do about that. But overall, this is our money as it currently exists. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the problem though is that all of our money is in Bitcoin and Ether, right? So in order to be able to know how much money we have, we need to open up what's called we call it CoinDesk. So it's CoinDesk.com. And CoinDesk.com is our official location where we get our Bitcoin Ether valuations. So right now we can see that Bitcoin is worth $4,312.23, right? So we come here, and then under the value of the Bitcoin, we put $4,312, right, and 23 cents. Okay. The value of Ether, we look at Ether. Ether is 292.70. So we go here, we go 292.70. And then to look up Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, we would have to go to list of all cyber currencies. So it's called all cryptocurrencies. It's Coin Market Cap. So here you have Bitcoin Cash. And so Bitcoin Cash is worth $402.94. Yeah, $402.94 for $402.94. So then I just go ahead and drag this all down, and then this will tell us exactly how much money we have in all the accounts, and it equals 263,451. Okay. So that's the current cash that we have in that account. But just so you guys know, there are a couple changes that I want to make sure we make. So I'm going to pull up the other budget. So this is the option 1 budget that's already been made. Where are we?
2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. All right, we're going to need a little more time if we want to get through this. But so here, this is the old budget here, and in this old budget, because we're in the process of shifting to a new organizational budget, I added an additional spot here. So if we go into the updated budget, I added another component here. And this is the organizational accounting. So let me just add this in real quick. I think it helps. So this is org breakdown right here. So the Econaut partnership, as we just saw, has $260,000. 260,000. Exit Inc. should have about 7,000. I could double check that real quick if needed. And then the Swiss Foundation has about 50,000. So technically we have, in total, between the whole exit is about $317,000. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now we can go back to our new budget. And then we have this number right here we want to equal 317,000. And the way that we do that is we basically go back to August. Joyce had to get going, but she was enjoying the session. So we need to subtract some. So we're going to subtract the 50,000, maybe make this like 100,000. Whoops, 100,000.
That's a million.
So now it's 258, which is pretty close. Okay. Wait, actually, we want it to be 317, right? So let's go ahead and add another 50,000, and that equals 308. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right, so then I can go ahead and hide this, and now our beginning cash balance is at least close to our assets. I kind of like it a little under because we don't want to get too out of control. So then this is the money that we've spent, right? Which is going to be over the course of this month, and this month. So this would be I-10, right? Is that right? Yeah, I-10. So we want to do I-10, H, J, J10, and K10. So this is the amount of money spent over the course of the 3 months. And so we are overspending by $132,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say we did a 2-month budget, right? So if we did a 2-month budget, this would just equal October plus November, which would be 301. And therefore, if you subtracted the amount of money that we have minus the amount of money spent, it actually works. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for this is really October to November budget. It's like a 2-month budget in reality, because I mean but we want to see what December would mean. So with a 3-month budget, it would really it just doesn't work, right? So that's why we have this budget and this budget, and we can change this. So this is now 260,000, 317. The summary is about no, it's Bitcoin. Summary, organizational breakdown, operating expenses. Okay. All right, so it's 295. So this can go up a little bit, but you can see we made a lot of cuts. There's still a couple cuts that would be helpful to make, but this can eke out a 3-month budget. Does that make sense? Yeah. So all I have to do here is add about $18,000. So this would be, and we don't need this. This can go away. So I'm going to add in October really quick and just add in like 17,000. Whoops. Right, so now it's like 312. So now we need another 5,000. So add in 5 more thousand, and then I'm going to go ahead and hide all of this. And now we have the correct amount, although it's supposed to be for September. Whoops. Right, so September is supposed to be the right starting amount. This doesn't matter. All right, so see how it's 388? So we need to subtract like 80,000 or so. So I would go in here and we would just subtract the 17, the 5 we just added in. That's a negative number as well. And let's see what that gets us. So now we have to do another like 60,000. So we can get rid of this, make it 40. And see what that works out to, 314. So let's add in like another like 3,000, and that should equal 317. Okay. So then again, I just hide all of these other ones because we just don't want to confuse people. So September, October, November, December, that's all we need. And this gives us a negative. Oh wait, this is wrong. All right, so spent is October. Wait, no. I-10, that's correct. So this is the correct amount spent. The amount of money that we have is going to be equal to this. And this is how much we're under. So we still have, so we take 27,000, we still have 10,000 left to cut. Okay. Does that make sense? So this is 10,000 per month. It's actually more like 9,000 technically. So there's still about 9,000 more dollars per month to cut. So we originally started with 60 and we made cuts and cuts and cuts and cuts. And this is the most important part of the budget here, is that it all adds up and evens up correctly. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So are there any other questions about the budget? Okay, well, let me just let you guys know the next step. So now we have, so step 1 was to create the budget with the major cuts done, right? And this is what we call option 1. Step 2 is to create a budget without the cuts, right? This will be more of a 2-month budget, and this is option 2. Step 3 is to create a budget with cuts, right? So it's based on option 1, but we will be adding in the entire, adding in like 5 to 10 new core team members. Okay. Step 4 is to create a budget with no cuts, a budget with no cuts based on option 2, but also adding in 5 to 10 new core team members. Okay. So I still need to do these 2 steps tonight, and so I need to create more budgets. And what we'll end up with is 4 options for the executive team to vote on tomorrow. And I think I have the 4 options here somewhere. Let me just write them out real quick. So budget options for EXA. Option 1, 60K of cuts per month. This is a 3-month budget. Option 2, no cuts. Right, this is going to be a 2-month budget. Option 3 is potentially as much as 80 to 100K of cuts and adding in 5 to 10 new paid contractors, right, and core team members. But it will still be a 3-month budget. And then option number 4 is to add in as much as like $25,000 with 5 to 10 new paid contractor core team. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
A quick question. For option 2, where there's no cut with a 2-month budget, but monthly in year.
Say again, I couldn't quite hear you.
So I'm saying for option 2, where there's a no cut with a 2-month budget, but at the end of you still have a 1 month in 2017. Would that be a little off?
I couldn't quite understand you. Can you say it again? I'll try to write it down this time.
Okay, I'm saying that for option 2, where there's a no cut.
No cut, yeah.
There's a no cut and there's a 2-month budget, but at the end of it, you'll be looking at 1 more month remaining within the year.
Well, the reason why you can do that is because, I mean, it's not like the budget ends in December. There's also a budget in January, in February, in March, right? So it doesn't necessarily matter that it's the end of the year. It's just that the question is how much money do we want to spend?
In the new year, it wouldn't. How should I put it? When starting the new year, with a all year, with an all month, it wouldn't be a little off.
Yeah, I mean, basically the bottom line is like if you are a business and you set up a budget, you want your budget to be a minimum of 6 months to a year, right? So we're working, our client, our primary client is a startup that is very unstable, and therefore we are very unstable, right? So that's why all of these positions that we all are working with are very temporary, right? This is why all our positions are temporary, because we don't know what will happen in even just a few months, right? So in December, it could either be there is no money and everything falls apart, or EXA could have raised $1 million, right, or more.
Okay, understand.
We just don't know. Right? So hopefully our client will raise millions of dollars and we can increase our budgets. That's the goal. And that's why option 4 includes increasing the budget by $25,000, because we bring in more money, then we would be able to hire more people and be able to even pay us more money.
And not return to option one.
Option one is important because, I mean, it's having a 3-month stable budget when we know we need to go to the end of the year. It just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in support of option number one, but the problem with option number one is it also involves potentially cutting our budget, right? So option number three is the worst option for us, right? This is the worst option for FQN Community Network because this means our current budget of, you know, maybe we getting like $10,000 per month would go down probably by about 3,000. We probably end up with you know, $6,500 or maybe $7,000 per month.
Okay.
So this would be major cuts to us and across the board, right? Also, option number two isn't so bad either because this would keep our budget the same, right? And in fact, it might even increase our budget.
Yeah.
So this option for us, it would increase our budget, right? Which would be pretty cool. So I would be supportive of option one, possibly option two. The problem with option two is it just destabilizes everything because it's just 2 months, but we've kind of been on a 1-month budget anyways. So I mean, we'll see what happens. It'll be an interesting thing tomorrow, but by the end of tomorrow, there should be a decision on the budget, and then we'll be able to plan our budget accordingly based on how much money we know that we're going to get paid, and we get payrolls on Friday. So tomorrow the budget's approved, and then depending on what is approved of the budget, payroll is on Friday. Okay?
Okay.
And again, this is our client's budget. We oversee the budget for EXA and the client. Again, this budget's much bigger than our budget. It's a $300,000 budget. It's over $100,000 a month, so it's over $1 million budget a year. It's a very large budget. And you can see that right here, right? It's $1 million spent, or it says about 700,000, but yeah. Cool. I think that's it for the budget. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to do the executive prep training real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is pretty easy. For the executive prep training, and actually, this is actually a board. So we're gonna start the EXA Super Board meeting is the first Wednesday of the month. Okay. So for this one, I would go to the EXA doc. Let me get rid of these budgets. Where's the EXA deck? Nope. It's not. I need to do the EXA mode. So I'm just gonna go to USS main docs drawer. So here's the EXA main doc. And so tomorrow would be a super board meeting. So I click on the super board meeting. And then in this particular case, it's going to be Wednesday, October 4th, 2017. So I open up the Wednesday, September 5th, and let's make sure we are writing this down. So step 1, go to EXA mode doc, main doc, and open the super board doc. And maybe you might be doing the super executive team. If it's different, right? Step 2 is open the most recent meeting minutes. The reason why we open the most recent meeting minutes is that they don't have a template, right? We create templates, but they don't have one. So we're just going to work from the previous meeting. So we're going to go ahead and make a copy of the previous meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make this shareable so that people can edit it. And then this is going to be October 4th. And this is going to be October 4th. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy this back into here so that's linked. Like that. And then the notes are pretty much done. So let's note that here. So step 3 is copy the previous meeting minutes. And then change the date and copy the new doc into the, in this case, the super board doc. Okay. So is everyone following this so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So step number 4. So this is where it gets a little more complicated. So what I usually do is basically here on the notes, like we have check-ins, all right? And then here I'd make a line, and these would be like the old notes, right? And then these would be like the new notes. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
And then I actually leave the old notes in. Sometimes I do leave them like scheduling proposals. I don't know. We might go through this a little bit, but I think we're good on that matrix. Anyway, but I'm going to leave it just in case the notes are important. More importantly is the topics, right? So the topics, meeting structure, facilitator is important, scheduling proposals. So the first set of topics that are important to bring up is obviously the budget. And so this is where we would go ahead and link the new budget. So we have the budget with cuts. So I'd come in here and I'd say option 1 with 60K cuts. Option 2, no cuts. Okay. Exit tax and jurisdiction stuff is important. So exit house is very important. Payroll value tracking process, these changes is all very important. So anyways, this is the hard part of knowing what's important, what's not. Also, we have adding new core team members and budgets related to that. And this can all go into that. So this would be part of team development. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, there's definitely a lot of details in terms of like just knowing what the priority topics are. But we do have priority topic docs that can help with that. So step 4, updating, quote, old notes or deleting notes that are not needed. Step 5, updating the topics to be to be prioritized. So with this one, you can review the master executive topics list. Okay. So there is a topics list that should have new and priority topics on it already. And then step 6 is to notify J or an EXA liaison. And then step 7 is to send the new agenda and notes to the Slack channel. Okay. So I take this Wednesday, October 4th, and then I go to Slack. And in this particular case, we were going to the executive team channel. Eventually, there'll be a board channel as well. But so I go to the executive team. And I say link to super board meeting notes for 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, first Wednesday of the month. And I paste it. And we're done. Are there any questions?
No.
Nope. Nope.
2 minutes left.
Awesome. I think we actually did that one on time. So and then also obviously I'm going to add it to the list of all of the documents. I'm actually going to add it to Wednesday, October 4th, 2017. And so there's the global weekly daily list of documents, and this is the J's list of documents. So eventually there is a responsibility to add all of the documents in my documents list to the global list of documents. So this would be the EXA super board meeting. All right, so are you guys sure there's no questions? So, I mean, I'm ready to wrap up myself. I need to get work on the budget more. There's also the website issues. There's the team budget process we could go over briefly. How are you guys feeling? But I mean, overall, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, the executive team prep is done for today. The budgets, we've created half of the budgets. 2 of the 4 budgets have already been created. So there's only 2 more left.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Can we move on as you wrap up? I think you need to wrap up then. We continue a bit, or we just keep from there.
Well, what do you guys want to do? Let's check in with everyone. Aline, Asif, Kanisha, Lucy, what do you guys, Albina, what do you guys want to do? Albina?
I think we can go for 24 minutes if you like. Maybe people can go for 20 more minutes.
Yeah, like 15 minutes. So we can continue.
So
Okay, well,
we can complete the hour.
I personally am okay with doing these two last ones, and then I'm gonna take off. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then you guys can decide if you want to wrap up or you want to continue doing other stuff.
Good.
So the website issues plan. Did anyone here sign up to help out with the website?
Yes, Jamie.
I think it was a big day.
All right, help with
I can also help.
the website. So we have Abigail. Or is that Joyce?
Eileen.
Eileen, Lucy. So remember, websites are technically a project. Websites. All right. So the problem is that our server has been infected with a virus or some type of malware, and so the company has shut down all of our 100 plus websites. So that's the problem, okay? Any questions about the problem?
No, Jay.
Okay, so solution, and it's basically a scam. I mean, technically, this is a scam and has been documented. They offer to, quote, fix the problem with their, quote, third-party security company that is actually owned by the same owners, and then and that they charge like, you know, $10,000 plus to fix it.
A ransom virus, is that?
Yeah, it's some BS, dude. Like they should be protecting our websites, not the other way around. You know, I mean, we pay them for our websites. It's like ridiculous. But
Yeah.
But anyways, that's besides the point. So the solution. So there's a couple solutions involved. The first solution is that we clean the infected files off of the server, and then we basically, you know, send them a message and request that our websites get put back in function. Get turned back on. Get turned back on. Okay, so that's one option that we need to do, right? So that's one solution that we need to do. This could take you know 5 to 10 plus hours, maybe more. The problem with this problem is that it only is applicable to a short-term fix, because they can still take down all 100 of our websites at any time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, this is actually the 5th time they've done this. Right? I mean, it's outrageous. This is the 5th time they've taken all our websites down for like no reason. And it's like they could just take one website down, but their policy is they take all 100 websites down, even though only one of the websites is actually having a problem. Right? So the second option is that we already have a new, what's called a dedicated virtual dedicated server within the same company. So the goal is to transfer over one by one each individual website. So what this will mean that each individual website or group of websites will be secure from attack in relation to the other websites, right? So that only one website or group will go down, not all 100 of them. So for example, if I go to communityequity.net, which is one of our most important websites, this website is fully functional because it's on our other server. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so this has all of our tutorials up. It's got all of our updates and our service. Everything's all here, right? It's ready to go. Another website that is also active is our index.unity.network.srl. No. Index.unity.mo. All right, let's find out. So if we go to our global website, so it's fqncommunity.mo. Index, no, it's not. It's not here. All right, I can't remember. Anyways, we have some website that this forwards to, but it won't allow it to forward because it's blocked. Okay, so the point here is that we have this is a huge process. So this could take 100 to 300 hours to do all the websites, right? For all websites, yes. Like each website could take 5 to 10 hours plus. Okay. All right. Option number 3. Option number 3 is to just fix the links and a few of the external information systems. So what this would mean is like we have like the wc.tc/global calls, right? This can easily be fixed with a simple forwarding update. So this could be done in like 1 to 2 hours. We could fix like, there could be like about 5 to 10 different major fixes that could happen. Another thing we could do is we could duplicate our main unitynet.info website. This would include our calendar. So right now our calendar is down, and so we could fix this all in like a couple hours. So we get our calendar back online, as well as fixing some of the different links like our global calls link and other things like that. Does this make sense? So this is just fixing some links and some external information, like including our calendar that could easily get updated really quickly. All right, does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So then the last option is to purchase and get a new server with a new company, because the old company, which I don't want to say because they're that bad, literally sucks. And the problems with this is that it's expensive. It costs a lot of money for these servers, and it's also a huge amount of work. Like, so this could easily take like 5 to 10 hours, maybe even like 50 hours plus, right, to set up a new server and transfer over all the websites. All right. So anyways, those are the 4 solutions that I can think about. It's a massive undertaking, a huge amount of work. Some of the most important things is researching, how to duplicate and transfer over a WordPress site. So that's an important thing that we need to figure out how to do. I'm pretty confident I would be able to do it. Yeah. Are there any questions about this?
I think, why don't we go to option 3?
Oh, no, we have to do all 4 of them. We're going to be doing all 4 simultaneously.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Jay, do we have a firewall in our server?
I have no idea.
It's there. Maybe that's the problem, because we don't have a firewall. Malware, so it can easily attack our server.
Well, yeah. So that's a whole nother step here, is to set up more security protocols. This could also include like firewalls. It also could include like security software on our server that automatically updates and cleans the server if possible, right? So anyways, there's a lot of things that we could do within the server itself, but again, this is going to take additional time, and this doesn't really matter if we can't get our websites functional, right? So this is kind of like, this is like after we get our sites up and running. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Another thing is that after we get the sites up and running, after the sites are up and running, there is a huge amount of internal and external website work. This includes basically WordPress updates, social media systems, and prepping our public launch, linking websites together, and just it just goes on and on and on. There's at least 5 to 10 new websites that we want to create and update all of our session websites and updating. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a lot of website work to be done. I mean, remember, we have like 100 websites, including some of our clients' websites are down right now also, which is very bad, but we'll be able to fix that soon. So this is extremely important. We don't get paid for it, but we have to deal with it. And plus, we do have one client who does pay us, but not a lot of money, not enough money to actually deal with all this stuff. But yeah, are there any other questions about the website situation?
We should just prioritize and make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do need to prioritize and make it happen. It's like in the top 5 priorities right now. So this is in the top 5 priorities. The biggest problem is that it really is sensitive information, right?
Yeah.
So there is a lot of security involved. Security. Ideally, we can also recruit more people from Americas who can be awake, during the day with Jay, right? So, but we can do some during the Sonic session. I think there's plenty that can be done during Sonic session. Plenty that can be done. What was that? Hi guys, firewall does not work on servers. The best option is security protocols. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it on that. Any other questions on this?
No.
So this is, who is it? We got Lucy, Aline, Abigail. So we want to index this information into the website project doc. Okay.
Okay.
Also, I want to help. So Steve wants to help as well. So we'll add Steve. All right. Awesome. All right. I'm really excited to get all our websites fixed. In our overall priorities, again, it's in about the top 5 priorities. So, we do need to focus on like the taxes and the budgets and like, some of the other legal compliance and government compliance stuff that need to get done. And technically our business model as a business is not reliant on websites or social media. We can make money and be fully functional as a business without websites and social media. But once we get our websites and we do our public launch, we should be able to attract more clients and have even more funds and money coming in, okay? So team budget process, but again, a way to raise even more money is local HQ recruitment. Like there's no other way to raise more money. I don't know how to stress how important local HQ recruitment is and getting help locally. I say it all the time. It's been 6 months, it's still not happening. So let's get that done. Like someone should help with local HQ recruitment. Like this needs to happen. Can anyone help with that, or no one cares?
I'll try to.
Yeah, well, it's probably not going to be enough. All right, so team budget process. So we go into that for a little bit? Or should we just check out?
You can just do maybe 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, so
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
let's see, team budget process. So a couple things here that are really interesting is that we're changing all of our budgeting, billing, value tracking, work reporting, all that is going to be changing, okay? And we're going to be doing client work reporting. I'll explain more about what client work reporting is, all that stuff in the future, but this is part of that process, okay? So we have individual budget proposals are on your personnel file, online personnel file. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then you have buddy team budget proposals, right? In your main buddy team or provisional buddy team budget proposal. Okay, that makes sense?
Yeah.
What do you think comes next? So it'll be the sextant team budget proposal. And then you have the full teams and the global core team budget. So what comes after the buddy team budget proposals? Hello?
Yes?
Yes is an unacceptable answer ever. Like yes basically means no, right? Because yes basically means you have no idea what's going on and you have no, and like it's a no. So, all right, is anyone listening?
Yes, you're listening, Jay.
Thank you for not just saying yes. So now I actually understood what you meant, all right? So what happens after the buddy team budget proposal?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
The budget is now, after buddy team, they propose the budget, then we go for approval.
No. What happens after the buddy team budget approval?
Oh.
It's written right here, guys. Step 3. Step 2 is the buddy team budget proposals. Step 3, what is step 3? What happens after the buddy team budget proposal?
Sextant team budget proposal.
Yes, the team budget, right? So every team budget, every sextant, so this will include the Sonic team, the Andromeda team, the Central Asia team, right? Every team is across the world and all the sextants are gonna need to create a budget. And this might also even include duodecant budgets as well. There will be duodecant budgets. What happens after the sextant team, the team budgets?
Full team budget and global team.
Yes.
Proposal.
So currently, like at first, we only had individual budget proposals, which was a problem. But now we're getting a lot better, and we're starting to make the buddy team budget proposals, right? But we've been skipping a step. We go straight from the buddy team budget proposals straight to the global full team, and that's going to end, right? We're no longer going to be able to do that, and every single local, sextant and team will need to create its own budget. And very soon here, it's going to be required to the point that basically if your team doesn't do a budget, you're going to get cut out of the budget. just like if you don't do a buddy team budget.
Okay.
So basically, we want to make sure that we are doing the team budget. So the team budget process is very simple. Team budget process. You simply add up all the buddy team budgets, right? And then you're gonna have your income, right? You're gonna have your total amount of funds. And then you have to create a balanced budget. Right? That's basically that simple. And then you have to approve it through your main weekly session. Okay.
Okay, Jay, can we change in future to have individual budget, not a buddy team proposal budget?
Nope.
Okay.
The only way you can do that is if you bring in your own money, right? So if you fundraise and you bring in your own money, you start your own business, which we can help you do, then you can have and pay yourself, right? But if you want to get paid by the African Community Network, you need to work in teams. If you don't work in a team, then we're just not interested. We need people who can work in teams. If you can't work in a team, then that's a problem.
It's okay.
So, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. The only other things to note here, as we get into the billing and the value tracking work reporting, right? Individual teams will be responsible for billing the hours for bringing in the funds for their budget, right? You're going to need income, right? So every team is going to need to start tracking and billing hours to bring in the funds to be able to pay the members of its team. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so there's going to be billing involved. You know, each team will need a bill and track its team work hours and client hours, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So we'll explain more of this. We'll get to this eventually, like the bigger picture. But this part's super easy. I mean, all you have to do is just take all the buddy team proposals and put them into your team budget. It shouldn't be that complicated. Like it should take like an hour. You'll be able to do this in an hour, like one to 2 hours, done. Okay. Right, and it's perfectly fine, right? Add up all the team buddy teams, right? You can, basically you can create a doc, a spreadsheet for your team budget. Copy and paste the buddy team budgets, and add them up. So that's pretty much it. The more complicated part is understanding the total amount of money that you have and balancing the budget and all that part. So we're not going to require this right away, but this part is required right now, right? We want to have a spreadsheet of your team budget. How much money is it for your team? Add it up, get the total, and then this is going to be the proposal to the global core team. Does that make sense?
Okay, it's like Sonic, they need to have their own spreadsheet for that.
Yeah, so we're going to need list of teams. So there's Sonic, there should be your Africa team, right? We're going to have the Pacific team, we're going to have the Atlantic, Andromeda. Right, so those are the main teams. Your Australasia team, right? Central Asia. And maybe Central Asia possibly, right? So all of these teams should be need to start getting functional. They need to start having the weekly sessions so that they can approve their budgets and start getting more functional, right? And then once you have your budget, then we can start talking about income, about billing and clients. And you guys, everybody in every single team needs to understand the process of billing and the clients and the value tracking and the client work reporting, because you guys just, it's like, it's just not happening because people don't understand it. So we're going to force it into all of our internal systems. Like our entire internal systems are going to transform into this network and this web of global self-sufficient businesses, and that every single team is going to have its own budget and it's going to be self-sufficient. Okay? And eventually every team will even have its own treasurers and will be doing its own payroll and everything like that, right? And okay, at first we're not going to like put all that burden on you guys, and that would be ridiculous. You don't need that. But for example, obviously we're not doing very good on weekly payroll. People want to get paid weekly. We might transfer the weekly payroll into a separate treasurer and a separate process, right? And then start empowering the teams more to oversee their own budget and their own income. But anyways, that could take 6 months or a year, but we could at least get started with at least having the team budgets, okay? And so this is going to be required immediately. This all needs to get done like in the next week. So every single team needs a budget like in the next week.
They just estimate their budget?
No, it's not estimating anything. It's an exact budget. You take the buddy team budget proposals and you add them together, and then it's an exact number that you're proposing to the global core team. So the Eurafrica team, right? This would be Lucy and James, Albina and like Alina and Thomas, right? So Albina and Thomas, like and anyone else who wants to be in the Eurafrica team budget, put it all together, and then we'll see how much money the Eurafrica team needs to be functional. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's that simple. And it doesn't need to be
because
perfect.
we are also on Sonic. What about now on Sonic? Are we not going to be on that also?
Everybody needs to choose a team that they're going to have their budget with, right? So you can still be part of Sonic Session. You can even be part of helping the Sonic Session get their budget together. But everyone needs to choose a buddy team, and everyone's going to have their own buddy team proposal for their budget. And then every buddy team needs to choose a group team or a super team across the world in one of the sextants or quintants or quadrants, and then that will be your main team that controls your budget. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if you want to propose to multiple teams, you can try. I don't think it's going to work too well, but overall, the global core team can balance out any double proposals, right? If you can get 2 teams to approve your proposal for your budget, that's perfectly fine. But in the global team, it'll be worked out, okay? But I mean, but again, it's like, each team has a specific amount of money. Like the Sonic team has, maybe $1,000 to $1,500, right? The Eurafrica team, $1,000 to $2,000, right, per month. So the point is that every team will have a specific amount of money to spend. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to get every team organized, and so they know how they can function. And I don't know if these are correct amounts. I mean, I'll put question marks next to them, but at least it gives you a range, so that you understand that there will be a budget, and you're going to need to fit your buddy teams into the budget of your team. And everybody needs to understand budgets. They need to understand budgeting. Everyone needs to understand the income process and the billing process and the client process, because if you don't understand that, you can't help the client. And you can't help us meet our needs as a business. Does that make sense? And as an organization, a network. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. And again, I don't like the answer yes, right? Like yes basically means to me that you guys have no clue what I just said, right? Like, because if you guys say yeah, yes, okay, that can also mean no, I have no freaking clue what you're talking about. Do you guys understand when I say that?
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so when you say yes, I understand, then it actually means something. If you just say yes, like when you say yes, in my experience, when you are in front of somebody, you see their facial expression. And when they say yes, you look in their eyes and you look in their face and you can understand them, because when you say yes, you say it with an expression. But when there's only audio and there's no facial expression, yes, okay, yeah, are meaningless statements. It doesn't make sense in communication, because I don't see you. There's no facial expression to understand whether you're saying yes or yeah as in yes, I understand you, or yes as in yeah, that sounds okay, but I don't really get it. You know what I mean? So you just need to be clearer when you guys are communicating so that we're on the same page. All right, so I think we're ready to wrap up and check out, right?
Yes.
Are there any other questions on the budget?
No questions on budget.
Cool. So yeah, so everyone needs to get their team budgets together, and everyone should know which team that you're in. And it should be up to your main buddy team or your provisional buddy team to choose which team that you want to be part of and to get that budget together. Okay, let's check out. Lucy, do you want to take us through checkouts?
Yeah, I'll take you through. I can begin with Helen. Helen, will you?
Yes, I'm sorry, I am muted. A nice session for today, and I hope we're gonna fix the website, and I think we will talk later after my lunch break. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Asif.
Yes, I'm very much good, and sorry for coming late. I had a very long and tiring night. Yeah, it was good session for 1 hour at least. I have attended the budget, have attended the EXA budget, and I will try to work on fixing the website issue as soon as possible. Yeah. Check.
Okay, Tanisha.
Kanisha, you want to check out? Are you still here? Kanisha? Albina.
Okay, for me also it was a good session. Actually, I understand a lot of things. Jay has taken us through a lot. And thank you, Jay, for stepping in and training us on this. We also have to take this responsibility of training others to make sure that everyone is understanding what is supposed to be done, especially organizing our responsibilities. That's the major thing we need to do. When we come in a session and you know what you are going to work on and you are well organized, it will also save our time, and we will also work and give what is expected of us. Thank you, everyone. It's a check for me.
Okay, Kanisha.
I don't think Kanisha's here.
Okay, Abdul.
Yes, it was pretty good session. I had know the different things about our exam budget, and also need to also understand what website problem. So we need to focus on this one and the other responsibilities, and also the written proposal. So we need to focus on that. That's my check today. Thank you, Jay. Thank you all.
Okay. Ajay?
I'm really tired. I still have a couple hours of work to do to get all these budgets done and prep everything for tomorrow for the executive, for the super board for EXA. So, so yeah, but I still think it's good. We're making a lot of progress. Like, I don't know how to stress enough the urgency of needing to prioritize recruitment. Like, I just don't think that's happening. We need more people. We need more people in the Americas. We need more people in the East Pacific. We need more people in the Pacific, in the Oceania and the Pacific. The whole thing. We just need more people in general. Because there's just too much to do. I don't know how to stress it enough. Because and the work is just still not getting done to the level that needs to get done. But we're getting closer. Like it's like. Yeah, that's all I know how to say. But yeah, thanks for being here, and let's just keep pushing. I'm really excited about the sextant organizing because I think it's really going to work out better. I mean, it's much clearer. The schedules are clearer. Everything has clear times, and we're going to be evolving and changing around our whole buddy team schedule. Start by copying the existing buddy team schedule. But yeah, so I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping that we can get our shifts started for the sextant shift schedule managers as soon as possible. Like, I just want to get that done because there's just too much to be doing to not be doing that. Like, we got to get going on that. So yeah, check.
Okay, thank you, Jay, for your time. Today it was really a nice session for me. At least we have a sector and we learn a sort of thing. I just had it. I did not even know what it's all about, but I have an idea now, and that's very good. And we are really moving. Just trying our level best. For 3 months to come, we will be somewhere. And thank you for today. And have a good night, Jay. Bye, guys.
Okay, did Kanisha ever come back? Kanisha, are you there? Guess not. All right, bye. See you guys later.
Okay, good night. So can we do the tracking?
Okay. You assign, you do it.